Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, let's be honest. If you're learning French, you know that feeling, right? You've got all the words, but getting them in the right order, it's like a total puzzle. Well, today, we're handing you the blueprint to solve it once and for all.
Yeah, it's this frustrating guessing game, isn't it? You just kind of shuffle the words around and cross your fingers, hoping you got it right. Well, you can stop guessing. The game ends today. So forget about memorizing a bunch of super confusing rules. We're not doing that. Instead, we are going to become architects. Yep, you heard me. In this explainer, we are literally building the perfect French sentence from the ground up, one piece at a time. So here's our game plan. First, we lay the foundation. Then we add the core objects, describe the action, set the scene, and finally, we're going to put it all together into one killer, exam-ready formula. All right, section 1. Every great building, right, needs an absolutely solid foundation. It's the same for a sentence. And in French, that foundation is actually super simple, and it always, and I mean always, comes first. And here it is. This is the unbreakable core, subject plus verb. This is your non-negotiable starting point for pretty much every single sentence you're ever going to build. You've got the subject, who or what's doing the thing, and the verb, the action itself. This is the concrete. This is what we build everything else on. Okay, our foundation is set. Time to put up the main walls. We're talking about the objects of the sentence, and these guys answer two really important questions. What and to whom?
So the trick here is knowing the difference between the two. First, you've got the COD, the direct object. It gets the action, well, directly. It answers what or whom. Then there's the COI, the indirect object. It gets the action indirectly, usually with a little word like à or pour to tell you to whom.
And there you have it. Our framework is growing. We started with that solid foundation, subject and verb, and now we've just snapped in these crucial structural parts that really give the sentence its meaning.
Okay, so our sentence is structurally sound, but let's be real, it's a little bit plain, a little boring. So now comes the fun part. This is where we add the detail, the color, the decoration that really makes it come alive.
And for that, we've got two main tools in our toolbox, adjectives and adverbs. It's simple, really. Adjectives describe the nouns. Think of the apple being red, une pomme rouge, and they usually come right after it. Adverbs, on the other hand, describe the verb, like eating slowly, manger lentement, and, you guessed it, they usually follow the verb too.
But here's a little pro tip for you. Adverbs are actually way more flexible than you might think. They don't just stick to verbs. Check this out. An adverb like très, which just means very, can also amp up an adjective. So you get une maison très grande, a very big house. It's a small change, but man, it's powerful.
All right, our structure is built, it's decorated. Now for the final step. We have to actually put it somewhere, right? We got to set the scene. And we do that by answering where and when.
And these final pieces of the puzzle, place and time, they almost always hang out at the end of the main sentence. This is what gives us the context. It's what grounds our beautiful sentence in the real world. Things like at the park, yesterday, last week.
Okay, team, we have all our materials. We know how all the pieces fit together. Now it is time to assemble the master blueprint. This is the complete formula, the one that's going to work for even the trickiest, most complex sentences you can think of.
So let's put it all together step by step. 1, we start with our unbreakable core, the subject. 2, we add the verb. 3, in goes the direct object, the COD. 4, the adjective that describes it. 5, next up is the indirect object, the COI. 6, we set the scene with the place. 7, we add the time. And finally, 8, we pop in the adverb to describe how it all went down.
And there it is, the master blueprint. Subject, verb, COD. Adjective, COI, place, time, adverb. This is it. This is your secret weapon. If you can get this order into your head, you will have a rock-solid structure for just about any sentence you need to build. This is especially golden if you're prepping for exams like the A2 or the DELF.
Okay, let's see this baby in action. Look at this sentence. Subject, il, he. Verb, done, gives. What does he give? The COD, un cadeau, a gift. What kind of gift? The adjective, cher, expensive. To whom? The COI, à sa sœur, to his sister. Where? Place, au parc, at the park. When? Time, aujourd'hui, today. And how? The adverb, joyeusement, happily. See? It slots in perfectly, every piece in its place.
Now you might be thinking, okay, that's great for the present tense, but what about something trickier, like the past tense? Well, guess what? The blueprint still works. When you have something like the passé composé, the two parts of the verb, the auxiliaire and the past participle, like a vu right here, they just team up and together they fill that verb slot. Simple as that. Everything else just falls into place exactly like before. Okay, before I set you loose to start building your own sentences, here are 3 super important exam-ready tips. First, don't forget, adjectives have to agree with the noun they're describing, gender and number, you know the drill. Second, and this is great news, adverbs are invariable. They never change. Easy, right? And finally, and this is maybe the most important thing, this blueprint is amazing, but your number 1 goal should always be to be simple and clear. So there you have it. You are now officially a French sentence architect. You've got the tools. You've got the master plan. You have everything you need to start building sentences that are clear, complex, and totally correct. So the only question left is, what masterpiece are you going to build first?